But don't get me wrong, Samuel L. Jackson's character in Kingsman is not supposed to represent Obama. No, no. That's clear when Richmond Valentine explains his plan.
Nobody told me to try and save the planet. I wanted to. Climate change research, lobbying, years of study, billions of dollars, and you know why I quit? Because the last time I checked, the planet was still hence my epiphany. Money won't solve this. Those idiots who call themselves politicians have buried their heads in the sand and stood for nothing but re-election. So I spent the last 2 years trying to find a real solution. And I found it. Now, if you really want to make the world a better place, I suggest you open your ears, because I'm about to tell it to you.
Go on, Mr. Valentine. I'm still listening.
As long as you agree to all my terms.
Obama's on board! Sure sounded, looked a lot like our commander-in-chief from the back. And this little meeting wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for the fact that Richmond Valentine is telling the mysterious Obama character that he has to go along with his master plan, which is, of course, to save humanity from climate change by means of mass extinction. You heard that right. The world-threatening villain of Kingsman is a climate change activist. And this features a movie that is fictionalized in this scenario where Obama is complicit in mass genocide with a climate change activist. How did this movie get made? Listen to how Valentine explains why we need to kill people in order to save the lovely planet.
When you get a virus, you get a fever. That's the human body raising its core temperature to kill the virus. Planet Earth works the same way. Global warming is the fever. Mankind is the virus. We're making our planet sick. A cull is our only hope. If we don't reduce our population ourselves, there's only one of two ways this can go. The host kills the virus, or the virus kills the host. Either way,
the result is the same. The virus dies.
So Valentine's going to take care of the population problem himself?
Well, if we don't do something, nature will. Sometimes a culling is the only way to ensure that the species survives. And history will see Valentine as the man who saved humanity from extinction.
Seriously? He could be playing Al Gore. It's really frightening, isn't it? When you realize that Richmond Valentine acknowledges that they aren't even telling the truth about global warming. Watch.
So, you want to donate to my foundation. You are aware that I wound things down in that area, right?
Climate change is a threat which affects us all, Mr. Valentine. And you're one of the few powerful men who seems to share my concerns.
Well, I shut things down because I wasn't getting anywhere. Every bit of research kept pointing to the same thing.
The carbon emissions are a red herring, and we're past the point of no return, no matter what remedial actions we take.
Oh, you know your...
I sometimes envy the blissful ignorance of those less well-versed in their...
Carbon emissions are a red herring? This isn't a movie? Richmond Valentine and Colin Firth's character literally call carbon emissions a red herring. Again, how was this movie made? It's really scary, though. Samuel L. Jackson is just playing a psychotic character who firmly believes using global warming as an excuse for population control is the only way to save the world from disaster. At the end of the day, he's Samuel L. Jackson, flying around on private jets, not caring about CO2 emissions, really. And if he is, he sure isn't thinking of killing people over them. At least I hope. But real people with real status, like scientist Paul Ehrlich, have actually claimed that population control was the only answer. In equally terrifying terms, Ehrlich once described how we need to put sterilization additives in our water system to prevent births. And like our Kingsman villain, he even admitted to using his spectacular scare tactics as a red herring.
If you ask me the question, are there things that I have written in the past that I wouldn't write today? The answer is certainly yes. I've expressed more certainty because I was trying to bring people to get something done.
But his core message remains the same today. There are nearly 4 billion more people in the world, and they are consuming more resources than ever before.
I do not think my language is too apocalyptic in the population bomb. My language would be even more apocalyptic today. The idea that every woman should have as many babies as she wants is, to me, exactly the same kind of idea as everybody ought to be permitted to throw as much of their garbage into their neighbor's backyard as they want.
I have to apologize for Brad. I don't think I lightened it up this segment. Samuel L. Jackson doesn't terrify me. I mean, you know, maybe if I saw him walking down the street reciting Ezekiel and holding his bad MF wallet, I probably would pee my pants, sure, but it's people like Paul Ehrlich and the progressive agenda that pushes climate change policy that really scares me. So you can stay up late crying in the fetal position over the real villains in our lifetime, or you can watch a very entertaining and very politically incorrect and very violent action movie about pretend ones like Kingsman. I'll go with the latter.